Good morning, my fellow Liberians. I want to welcome you this morning at one place, one voice. On here, we promote peace, love, and unity. But this morning, we will be discussing the key to Liberia's West Africa problems. It is very important that we discuss this morning because we have tried a lot of mentors and we believe that it is not really working for our Liberian people or the Liberia's citizens. So this morning we want to discuss the key to Liberia's West Africa problem. When you try things over and over and it's not working, you have to try different mentors. So therefore, before I proceed, I want to bring in a musical break by one of our sister, Canvey, one of a great singer in West Africa from Liberia. We will overall prevail. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned. Right after this musical break, we will be speaking to you on the topic, the key to Liberia's in West Africa problem. What can we do? What different strategies can we put in place for that country to develop and rise to the top? At one place on voice is where Liberia meet other nationalities around the entire continent to promote peace, love, and unity. We do not come on this media to criticize, because criticizing one another, criticizing each other, it is not going to solve our problem. Remember, there is a new age and new generation. We must try something different. I am a born Liberian, born counted, born proud, with dignity, and the small wisdom God bless us with. We're going to share with you the solution and the key to Liberia's in West Africa problem. Again, stay tuned. Welcome to One Place on Voice. It's where Liberia meet other nationalities to promote peace, love, and unity. We will be discussing this morning the key to Liberia's in West Africa problem. What can we do? What is the different strategies that we can come up with to solve our problem? Again, stay tuned. You are tuned with Mr. Nohan, the director for One Place on Voice of Register Studio in the Bronx. We will be coming to you in a few minutes. I hope you enjoy your broadcast. Thank you. And never will you be strangers in your land, strangers in your land, strangers in your land. Again, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to greet you this morning. I hope you're doing great this morning. I want to greet my brothers and sisters in good health and good spirit, and pray that God continue to protect us that live in the diaspora and around the world, Europe, London, wherever you are around the world. I want to greet you this morning in a very good spirit. But this morning, we want to discuss a new strategy for the new age and new generation. We are living in a new age and new generation, and that's why it is very important that we think different. And this message is going to my fellow brothers and sisters, Liberians, African, or whoever find this interested to use for their country. You are wholeheartedly welcome to listen to this good wisdom of knowledge that I want to share with you this morning. I will be pointing key solution to the Liberia's problem in West Africa. What can we do? What's the new strategy? When I look around, I listen to the media, I listen to the news, I see everyone confused. Everyone is complaining. Oh, this person is corrupt, this person is doing this, the president is that, the president is that. I want to place my voice. We specifically promote peace, love, and unity. Brothers and sisters, as I gave you this message this morning, you are welcome to call the studio. My number is right on the screen right there, 646-220-7781. And contribute your idea. If you don't call, then I'm going to proceed with the discussion and give my point why I think that we should think differently and what can help to develop Mama Liberia in West Africa. That's why I'm here this morning on this media. I want to give you 5 key points that when we use as a strategy for Liberia, Liberia is going to rise to the top, and our people going to be happy. And this message should also be going to our Excellency current President George Weah. I hope one way or the other this message reach him and let him look into it and extract the great one from this message to put into use and to put into practice. I strongly believe it's going to help the country to succeed. I would like to start by saying, first of all the leaders of Liberia, including the current president, His Excellency George Weah, I want to give you thanks and appreciation so far for doing great. I know some people might not like what I just said, by giving thanks and appreciation to the current leaders and the current president, His Excellency George Weah. But you know, it is funny because, and I believe this is one of the barriers that's ridiculing we the Liberians out there. We do not want to see the positive always, to say thank you. But we are looking for the negative to say, oh, this person did this wrong, this person did that wrong. And for me, my ideology, looking at things sagaciously, it is not the way I look at things. I look at things from a very different perspectives. And that's why I say I gave thanks and appreciation for whatever they have done so far. Now, it doesn't mean that they are not doing things or they are doing everything right. That's not what I'm saying. I want to be very clear on this media. I'm only giving thanks to the little good that they have done. Because I believe when there is a problem, we have to look at it logically to resolve such a problem instead of blaming each other. This person is this, this person is that. And because there is a new age and you have social media out there, so everyone uses social media aggressively to give their point of view. Whether it be a bad or whether it be a good, well, I believe it's all ideas. But because we live in a new age, a new generation, we must come up with a very new idea and a new strategies in terms of how we as Liberians, as a quote unquote we, because myself, I am a born Liberian, travel into the great United States and naturalize myself. Does it mean the blood in me is not Liberia? Of course, yes, it is. And you can even tell from my accent when I speak. So therefore, I am addressing my brothers and sisters this morning across the globe, including Liberia specifically. What can we do new? And with all due respect to our current president, His Excellency George Manawia, if you get this message, I would like you to listen to this message very good, because it's going to help you to make the citizens of Liberia very happy towards you. Because we believe that the citizens, or the Liberian citizens, really got confident in you. Besides you being a celebrities, they trust you and they know that you can do better. So this message, it is sent for you to hear it and others choose to do right for the Liberian citizens, so that you can have a very great legacy when you leave the city. We have heard things, but when you conclude overall, from my point of view and from my perspective, I believe the Liberian citizens are not happy with the way leadership is going on. Now, when you had your campaign few months back, before you took over the current position you have now, you make the Liberia's citizens to believe in you very strongly. And that's what I want you to maintain. I want you to maintain that dignity. I want you to maintain that integrity, that the Liberia's citizens, whether being educated or uneducated, to know that yes, you are there for them. And that's why we come on the media, to guide you, not to criticize you, because every man have his own wisdom, and every man have his own ideology in terms of what she or he does. So I'm not here to criticize what you does wrong. I'm not here to criticize what you have done right. But I am here to give some recommendation in terms of how we can improve the system and how we can make it better for our people. Having done a lot of research in Liberia, I understand the situations that occur in Liberia. And that's why I sat down after I saw the Ebola crisis in Liberia. And having gone through the 14-year civil war, there is no one to tell me that this happened during the wartime, because I was in Liberia for the entire 15 years of civil war. So in other words, I ate buckwheat, I ate cassava, I did everything that any other citizen. So I understand the country very well. And notwithstanding, also 2014 established a foundation called Vision for Children in Liberia. Why? Because I felt that the children of Liberia had an educational gap. There was a wide range of gap, and that gap needed to be filled. So this morning I'm here to share a different strategies in terms of how we all can contribute. Because I believe if we continue criticizing each other, it is not really going to help us move forward. Liberia being the oldest independent state on the map, we have to think in a different direction in terms of how we can help that country called Mama Liberia. With that said, I just want to point one thing out. According to the Human Development Index, most of the world's developed countries are located in Europe and North America, while large swaths of America and Asia remain underdeveloped. So we are here to talk about the countries that are, underdeveloped, and why any country that fall in this category can arise. But there are logic, there are steps that when such country take, they can be developed to the highest. Again, you tune into one place, one voice. It's where Liberians meet other nationals around the continent of Africa to promote peace, love, and unity. That's why we don't come on this media to criticize, but we come to see how we can contribute towards the solution to our problems. The first thing I want to talk on this morning, Liberia'S, from the leadership to the top, from the top leadership up to the bottom, down to the citizens, we have to learn how to share resources. Sharing our resources across the entire country will definitely help to put us on the right path. Now, one may ask, what do you mean sharing resources? Obviously, the fewer resources the average family uses, the lower the nation's ecological footprint. Developing countries may not be able to afford electric or semi-electric cars, but their people can conserve both money and oxygen by carpooling, riding bikes, and reusing grocery bags. So sharing our resources in Liberia will help to promote the country. His Excellency George Manuel. The resources is for the citizens of Liberia because the country owns its own resource. So therefore, those resources should be evenly distributed across Liberia. That's one logic. Look into it and see if it makes sense or not. Because we can say something and give suggestion, but people might see it different. They either take it, they either leave it, or they revise and see if they can extract the best from it. Liberia will continue to live suffering, or will continue to suffer, if only a few handful of people enjoy the resources that belong to the citizens. Don't forget, I previously said that we are in a new age and new generation. Don't forget. So we have to think different now. We can't continue to live the old ways. We have to develop a strategies that we can use to develop such a beautiful country called Mama Liberia. Now, how do we evenly distribute the resource? That's why we have various counties. We have Bone County, we have Nima County, Grand Basso, just name it. Every year, your annual budget must be given. But there should be a follow-up. There should be a procedure set in place in terms of following such resources that are distributed across the country evenly. Making sure that accountability from each representative, from each senator is given at the end of the day to see how those resources was distributed across the entire country. That's one point. His Excellency, I recommend that very strongly. When you hold people accountable, I don't care who that person is, when you hold accountable on what you want to be done, believe me, there is a clear evidence, and eventually you're going to see how the country going to develop. That's one point. His Excellency, I can't say anything enough than what I just said. Hold people accountable for what is given and how well they produce. Also be able to carry on what we call evaluation and see who is doing great in which county. I want to bring to you His Excellency Mr. George Monrovia. Monrovia, it is not Liberia. Let's clear that notion, because people feel that Monrovia is Liberia. No, Montserrat is a county in Liberia as well. The same way you see Bon County, the same way you see Grand Bassa, the same way you see Nima County, the same way you see Sano County, the same way you see River G, and just name it on and on and on and on. That's how every county should be. Over the time, what I have observed in Liberia is one county look like, it have wealth, which is called Monrovia. It is not a good logic, it is not a good strategy to see things that way. Every county should have seen even a distribution of development going on. So when we put this strategy for the new age and new generation, what we observe, or what we're going to observe, we will see people leaving in Monrovia quickly to go back to those very counties. And guess what? We're going to have equilibrium. What do I mean equilibrium? We're going to have balance across the country, because people feel that their county is being developed, so they want to go back to the county to contribute to that county. So I give you an example. I'm still speaking about sharing resources. Don't forget, I got 5 keys to give this morning that can help to solve Liberia's people problem. It took me time to prepare this document, to share this wisdom. So let's take for instance, in Nima County, we have schools. We're building a very good educational sector in Nima County for its citizens. We make sure that resource is used to make sure that children that go into that school is well equipped in terms of nourishment. That is food. Every morning our children go to school, they are given food to eat while they're in class. They get food for lunch. Learning is taking place. We make sure each community have its own school or schools. And the same, you have nourishment going on. Learning is taking place. Teachers that are teaching those schools are well trained from the academy that are going to be built. A well organized academy. Trained teachers. Because I am a victim of bravery. When I was in school, I have sometimes, because I'm so hungry, I can't find no food to eat. But yet and still, I have to sit in the classroom to learn. So I have no other option but to adhere to the teacher's request. At the end of the day, teachers say, bring money to pass you. I did it. I gave money to brave teacher to pass me. But now I can see or realize that those things come out of ignorance. It's because the country not paying teacher well, not focusing on teachers, to pay teachers, to focus on children. There should be a policy put in place that teacher cannot do those things. You're going to see significant growth, and the growth is going to go so fast, and you will see Liberia on the top. We did a lot of research around the continent of Africa. See, places like Ghana. Why do you think Ghana is developing? There are similar logic they have put in place. We have to hold people accountable. If we hold people accountable, things change. No matter how corrupt a man is, if you hold him accountable and make sure his autograph, his son, that man with that, he taking responsibility for that position. And if anything goes wrong, he will face the full weight of the law. No matter how corrupt that person is, they will make a change because there's a law put in place and there's a follow up when a law is broken. So let's share resources from county to county, no matter what tribe you are, no matter what county you're from. I'm talking about country-wise. Sharing those resources from county to county will help Liberia get on its foot very, very effectively. That's one recommendation. I have 4 more recommendations to the key to solving the Liberia's in West Africa problem. His Excellency George Monowia. Number 2, let's promote education. And that's my area of expertise. That one I can tell you exactly that it's a big deal to me. It's a top priority upon the 5 key problems or the 5 key strategies that we can use to have Liberia develop very effectively. Promoting education should be number 1 priority. In order to have a nation growth, in order to have a very good economic sector, in order to have our children being a scientist, doctors, and just name those very positions, we must promote education. All levels of education are important stepping stones to development, from the fundamental of kindergarten to the advancement quantum physics courses at the university. Each class ought to be taught with the adoration goals of quality of life and economic improvement in mind. Education stops terrorist group from gaining strength and trains doctors and scientists to research and kill diseases. It is one of the primary movers that help impoverished nations to help themselves. Studies have shown that the greatest number of main years children attend school, the healthier that nation economy become. Mr. Weir, my name is Nohan. I'm not here to criticize anybody, but I'm here to see how we can find a solution to the country's problem. You just heard what I just read. Promoting education in Liberia in all sectors, from county to county, making it a main priority of that country, will help to speedily develop that country and it will rise to the top. I am an educator. I am not here to sit on the media to sugarcoat anything. I'm telling you, it is very logical. When we have an effective educational policy put in place, a well-structured education, see Liberia go to the top. It is not a magic, it's not a rocket science, but it is about logic and it is about wisdom. Take that, Mr. President, run with it and see if your people don't serve you like God. These are things that we trying to recommend to help solve the Liberia's problem. For over 200 years, that one independent country have not rise. Ask yourself the question, why? Now, the citizens of Liberia, they strongly believe that, you know what? It's about time that we make a change. So we have Congo boys taking over the country for all those years, and there is no development. So let's take our own person called native man and put in a chair and see the change. Now, if you want for the international community to know that the native men have taken over and they are doing the right thing, then Mr. President, His Excellency George Manawiya, I recommend a few things to you. There's a saying that when you take over office, people say, and I quote, "Oh, our forefather, our grandfathers have been doing this thing a long time. Hell, why you want proof? You want to come here and change things around?" And sometimes we get stuck with it. And we don't see our people crying. We don't see that woman who can't even find one cup of rice to eat. That woman who have 3, 4 children. Can I even afford, don't have job? How do you expect, Mr. President? For the woman who don't have nothing, no job, have to go on the farm to work. I'm speaking from my heart. I'm speaking like I'm in Liberia. Because you know what? This is the exact thing I went through before I travel. So I'm not speaking because I want to speak. I'm speaking because I know it is true. Citizens, Liberia is so rich, but the people in Liberia are very poor. It is a disease. We cannot see the magnitude of why the country, why our citizens continue to cry. There must be a change for that nation called Mama Liberia. So I want to play my voice. We are here to promote peace, love, and unity. We are not here to criticize. We are here to recommend solution to solving the problem. Education should be the first. Now, promoting education is not enough. I got a few recommendations to make. When we promote education in Liberia, we should be able to gather resource or enough resource to support our children. I know it is not easy for the government. I understand that. But we can try to work with other financial institutions to come up with some strategies to see how we can invest more money into education for our children to go to school from kindergarten to 12th grade. I'm not saying the university. At the university level, they are already mature. So, they can pay their own tuition by working and then paying their tuition. But at least from kindergarten to 12th grade. Or let's take for instance, let's try our best. If you can't do it for kindergarten to 12th grade, then let's say from kindergarten to 9th grade at least. At the class of 9th grade, you have somehow mature and you can go on a hustle and be able to do what you got to do, to continue, your education. But at least there should be a fix on that for our children to go to school and make sure every day they eat while they in class. They have lunch. You cannot learn if you're in a classroom hungry. You're not going to learn. And this is how our boys and girls have been misled by those so-called teachers who also themselves hungry because there is no great policy put in place to teach our children in public school. So as a result, they have to end up going to look for money to give teachers just to pass a class. I'm a victim of that. So I know exactly what I'm saying here. And those are things that are killing our boys and girls in Liberia. So we have to look at promoting education. We have to invest more resources for our children to go to school for free. We have enough resources, Mr. President. We can do it. You are a very strong man. You are a man that is very patient. And you are very focused. Do not allow any corrupt people to distract your mission for Liberia. People really believe in you. They thought you couldn't make it. They thought you would fail. But I'm on this media telling you that, listen, it's just only 6 months plus time you have. You can make a turnaround just within a twinkle of an eyes. People depend on you. Their heart is on you. The citizens of Liberia want to be able to find leverage of your accomplishment. Then we all, at the end of the day, can sit and celebrate you. You are trying your best. Like I said, I'm not here to criticize you, but I'm here to make sure that you even do better for our country, Mama Liberia. Because at the end of the day, when someone retire, where do you think we have to go? Where do we have to go? That's our country. That's where we came from. We want to come and relax and just, enjoy ourselves and contribute to our society. But there must be a precedence. There must be a system. There must be a structured system. Let people believe in you and know that, yes, this man is for the country and this man is going to make a change. So I understand when people get on the media and frustrated and expressing themselves aggressively. I know where they're coming from. Sometimes they might not have the right approach to go about that, which is done sometimes out of ignorance, and we understand that. But these are things, that's how you know that the people, they are not happy with what's going on in the country, Mr. President. So please take note of that. That's number 2. I have 3 more to share. Number 3, empower women. Empower women. I know somebody's asking what this young man is talking about. What he mean empower women? Listen, man. When you educate a woman, you educate the world. When you educate a woman, you educate the world. Any leader that succeed very, very greatly, they are leaders that see women's strength. They don't look down on women being the second in society. They look at women being on the top and very strong and capable of doing anything. Empower women. Education is the most valuable to develop countries, most vulnerable groups. The most common demographic among of all these population, farmers, small-scale producers, victims of epidemics, and terrorist groups are women. Children of both gender are vulnerable as well, but the impoverished boys who do not die prematurely or join the terrorists are more likely to have enough social mobility to get educated and live than girls. In the least educated African country like Somalia, Niger, Liberia, Mali, and Burkina Faso, over 70% of girls between 7 and 16 have never attended school. Let us change that notion around and begin to empower our women and see the difference. Create more programs. Create trails. Send our women out to achieve a higher education and see the difference and see Mama Liberia rise within no time. Those are strategies that we're sharing, that we hope leaders take and run with it. By empowering women and equalizing academic opportunity, countries can increase income by an average of 23%. They can do this by investing in school closure to rural areas so that the children of farmers do not have to walk hours each day to get to and from school, straining their parents' time and resources in the process. That way, neither parents nor children will feel pressure to force a decision between farm work and school work, and the poorest population could begin to make progress. And that's what we meant when we say empower women and see the difference. Empower women and see the turnaround of Mama Liberia. That's my third contribution towards changing, or the key to Liberia's in West Africa problem. New age, new generation. Try different strategies and see what happens. Let us clear that old mentality way of thinking. There is a new age, new generation. So everyone should think positively. Number 4, His Excellency. I hope some of you taking notes. I have 2 more. 5 key strategies to Liberia's problem in West Africa. Leaders, take this logic and run with it and see what happened, and see Liberia develop overnight. Number 4, negotiate strategy, political relations. I repeat, negotiate strategy, political relations. What do I mean when I say negotiate strategy, political relations? Americans have seen firsthand what happened when a big business and lobbyists became too deeply involved with politicians. When it happened in the third world countries, their poorest, most disadvantaged citizens are the ones who suffer. This often leads to violent uprising with scale of victims on both sides. There is a reason why college majors such as international relations and politics are practically universal, aligning with people who have considerably political power and practically few scruples. See them benefit the poor country. For that reason, it is imperative that the educated learn to choose their political alliance carefully in order to make their greatest leaps into ecological, economic, and humanitarian development. It's very important, and that's what I meant when I said negotiate strategy and political relations. You have to be able, logically, to see which ideology the politicians are bringing into the country. Are they helping to develop our people? Are they helping to make sure that we got school in the country? Or they are just bringing these talks for their own selfish interests? These are things that we have to look at it very logically to know exactly how to choose our plan towards Mama Liberia. The small country on the African map have long suffered because no one who get in power have the country at heart. The first thing they want to do is to enrich themselves. Listen, I got a strategy for that. Nobody said that when you take a leadership that you can, have wealth. No one is saying that when you get into a leadership that you can, make money. But the thing here is this: do you want to first develop your country and make sure the citizens, are happy with you? Simple logic. Make sure the citizens are happy that you're doing a very great job. Now, when you go to eat from them, they don't feel it. That's a simple logic. I mean, I'm not saying do it, but I think that's what you should do. Make your people happy. Make sure boys and girls are in school. Make sure they go to school. There are programs created, put in place for them. They are eating. They are well taken care of health-wise. Man, when you make the kids happy and their parents are happy, there's no pressure. And then you see that you can do what you want to do sometime. But still, I don't recommend it. It is not any good. The first thing is to love the country. There is no way in this world that you don't love something but you want to lead it. It is very impossible. You have to love. And these are the problems in Africa. That's why we are the way we are. That's why we are underdeveloped. Because we do not put where we live first, to love our people, to make sure the resource is shared across that country, to make sure the people is well taken care of. That's why we always have riots, chaos, protests, and all that kind of stuff, because we want to eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, and without even thinking if somebody is dying, if someone don't have food to eat. These are things that we must rectify across the continent of Africa in order for us to move what we call development. So again, negotiate strategy, political religions. See your politician, what they are driving at. Are they in the interest of the people? Are they advocating for our people? or they are making our people confused only because they are uneducated. They can't see what the truth is or what the future is. So they make fun out of them. They confuse our people and then corrupt them and take their resource and invest it into other nations. And then we sit here and don't talk about it. Our people are not happy. The Liberian citizens are not happy. The way things going on, it is not good. And we cannot sit any longer to see our people suffer. Again, I'm not here to criticize. We are here to recommend solution for the country called Mama Liberia. We must start to think different. There's a new age, a new generation. We cannot continue thinking the same way we think. Take note of that. It is very important. The last, but not the least, reform the system of food and aid distribution. I repeat, reform the system of food and aid distribution. Nobody don't understand why the organization called Vision for Children in Liberia focus on food. You cannot do anything to lead anybody when they are hungry. I'm sorry. When we give food to our children in Liberia, we see how well they appreciate us. And that tells you that food is so important. His Excellency George Manawiya, listen to this. The distribution, make agriculture to be priority in the country. Make sure people in the various counties, encourage them, provide them with resources to invest into agriculture. Be independent, grow your own food. Like when our late President Doe, when he came in power, when he introduced the agricultural sector, making your own farm, encourage such thing. My brother, we are here to help you. We are here to make recommendations. Some of us not here to criticize you, but we are here to find solutions to bring to you to see if you can run with it and see how the country going to come up very fast. Let us not depend on foreigners. Let us not put our people interest at stake. Let us not try to take foreigners to be very important than our Liberian citizens. We are first. We are so unique as Liberians. We are good people. We cannot overshadow our people. Our people interest should be put first, Mr. President. We can have a Nigerian man try to look down on our people, throwing calculator in your mouth, and you think we're going to sit here and don't address these kind of issues? Are you kidding me? I'm not against foreigners coming in the country, but they have to act according to the law of Liberia. And they must be prosecuted under the law. It's nonsense for a foreigner to look down on our people. We do not approve that. And we need justice. We need justice. We cannot tolerate any foreigner to come and hit our citizens. No. We can't. I'm sorry. We can't. We can't. We can't sit here and allow anybody coming into our country to look down on our citizens. I'm sorry, His Excellency George Manawiya. I saw this young man just having a late meeting, and you, a Nigerian, call yourself MD or manager or whatever. How dare you to take a machine and throw it at my Liberian citizen? Are you kidding me? Oh, thanks be to God, I was not in Liberia. We can have this. And that's why our people are happy. Our people are not happy. And we have to work fast, speedy, and make sure our citizens are happy. They have gone through a long suffering. Do you know what they call 14-year civil war? Do you know what they call 250,000 being killed? I'm sorry, but it hurt. I see my people crying. And some of us can sit no longer and not express ourselves. We are contributors of Liberia. We want to make sure our people have every benefit that belongs to them. Whether it be a physical or not physical in Liberia, we want to make sure our people are happy. Our boys and girls who sell in wheelbarrows, who can afford per day, who don't have no job. Our girls have to sell themselves. I'm not saying it because I want to say it. I was in Liberia and I witnessed it with my own eyes. That is not how we should live. We got to make sure our people enjoy their resources. Mr. No Hand, when I die tomorrow, let one thing be said, that he said that his people deserve better. Not looking down on them. No. That should never be repeated. For a foreigner to look down on our Liberian citizen. That's the only problem, one problem that I have to address very quickly. Never ever let it not be repeated to lay your hands on our citizens. No, it shouldn't happen. Now back to the topic. I'm sorry for that, but I have to be a little bit, that kind of bothered me a little bit. When we taking foreigner to be on the top and our citizens have been overlooked in Liberia, that is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Our Liberian citizen should be first in everything, because that's the country. That's the only place they have. They have nowhere to go, so they must be given the first priority. Economy-wise, development-wise, I'm talking about job market. That's why we need to fight as leaders to make sure to reduce the poverty level. How do we do it? By putting some of these strategies in place, promoting education, reform, making sure our people go to school. That should be prioritized. Lastly, reform the system of food and aid distribution. Good health, Mr. President. Making sure that our people are healthy should be one of the key. So many millions of people still suffer from the world hunger each day, including the country I'm from called Mama Liberia. Their problems spring less from stinginess among foreign taxpayers, but from efficient system of distribution. As Senegalese entrepreneur Market Wade recently explained, the bulk of taxpayer money filtering in from more affluent countries does not actually pay for Africa or Asia aid, partly due to deep flaws in the regulation and in large part because of theft. Look no further than the people who make most of that money, she advised. That's where the money ends up. Yet again, the radical out to be support of African rather than the inexperienced, inadvertently patronizing members of the oil business instead of pouring money into resource, shipping and energy costs. She says, develop country out to invest in local African businesses so that the people can more effectively improve their own circumstances without having to resort to the whims of potentially corrupt and incompetent leaders. And that's why we have to hold our leaders accountable for what they do and how they do it. This is a new age, new generation. Liberia must rise. Liberia must rise. His Excellency George Montefiore, leaders across the globe. My name is Nohan. I'm just a contributor to the soil I came from. Thank you so much for listening to me this morning. And I do appreciate and I do respect you. But our citizen must come first. And our children, our boys and girls must have a very good education. There should be a very structural educational system put in Liberia. And the growth from county to county must be very effective. Leaders must be accountable in various positions. They have to account for what they have and what they have done. And if we do this, we will have the change of Liberia. Again, thank you so much this morning. With my heart, I love each and every one, the brothers and sisters this morning. Thank you so much for staying with me and staying tuned to this broadcast. Thank you. I love you. Peace. Thank you very much.
God says you are on the rise. If only we shall hearken to his command. It is then that we shall rise, we shall pursue, we shall overtake, and we shall conquer all of our adversaries, and we shall shout at last, the Lone Star forever, the Lone Star forever. Oh, long may it flow o'er land and o'er sea, deserted, no, never uphold it forever, and shout for the Lone Star battle. Oh, hell, him, mama. You shall eat the fruit of your land, the fruit of your land, the fruit of your land. Hey, you shall eat the fruit of this land, the fruit of this land, the wealth of this land. Ooh, and never will you be ashamed of your own land. Oh, hell, Liberia, hell, my land, my land, oh, hell, my land. God bless Liberia, bless my land. Liberia'S on the rising.